Hi, and welcome to Simple Logistics channel. So today I would like to explain what detention and demurrage means, and especially how can we reduce or mitigate those costs. Sometimes in logistics operations, it's impossible to have a very harmonized timing, a perfect timing between receiving a container, for example, and loading or unloading operations, and all of that to be just in time and to be fast enough to free the container and return it to the shipping company without any delays. So when the company that's responsible for the merchandise takes too much time in loading or unloading operations for a container that's measured in days. So usually you have in contract some free time in days to do those operations. And when you go beyond that contractual allowance, then the carrier company can start charging you demurrage costs. These costs, because you're holding a container longer than you're supposed to, those are called demurrage. This is a French word, but it's used everywhere when you're dealing with sea containers. And detention is pretty much the same thing, but for trucks. So for land transportation, for trucks and trailers. Trucks and the sea containers, the boxes, they have a cost for the carrier company. They have depreciation costs, you have maintenance costs, interests, you have also the driver's salary. This is one of the biggest cost factors when trucks are involved. You have several operational costs, and these operational costs, uh, they happen. It doesn't matter if the truck is being used to transport goods. It's if it is moving or if it is standing still. So for carrier companies, it's important that they make the most trips out of the fleet that they have. For these shipping lines, is the same thing with the containers. So they want these containers to be moving. They want to make money of freight. They don't want these containers to be held, to stand still in a position where they cannot make money out of it. So for carriers, it's important that trucks are on the move, most of the time, so they can make money out of freight. To ensure that trucks will not stay put, they will not stand still for longer than what's reasonable. Also, for load and unload operations of a trailer, you have a free time, usually 1 or 2 hours to do that. And after that, the carrier company can start charging you detention costs. So, it's important for them, for this equipment to be released as soon as possible to make another job, to make another delivery, uh, and there's no wasted time. So usually carriers don't make a lot of money out of detention or demurrage costs. For carriers, what is important is that you return their equipment, that you release their equipment on time. But sometimes to guarantee that that's done, you have to put some penalty in the contract, and that is the job of the detention and demurrage costs. So if you are a company that uses a lot of freight, you know that operations are not always smooth. You know, there are problems. Sometimes the systems are down. You cannot invoice goods. Sometimes your I don't know, your forklift is down for maintenance, so you cannot move goods inside of a container or a trailer. So what do you do? How can you reduce your demurrage and detention costs? So first of all, my first tip is to negotiate well the free times, and negotiate as much free time as you need. That is important, and it's easier to negotiate that at the beginning, before you're having these detention costs, and before the whole operation is affected. If you negotiate beforehand, if you negotiate early, that it's better. So negotiate a good amount of free time in your contract, not a lot, because that will increase freight costs, but negotiate enough time. You have to know well your operation, know your average release times, and work with those. Cover more than average. So if your average release time for a trailer is 2 hours, negotiate a 3 hour free time. If your average to load or unload a container is 2 days, negotiate at least 3 days free time with the shipping line. That way you'll avoid most detention and demurrage costs. They will eventually happen when there are large problems with the operation. To avoid even further costs, it's important to investigate the causes of delay. Sometimes there's communication problems. I think they create most of the issue. Sometimes it's system maintenance problems. Other times is equipment maintenance. Investigate those problems. Make sure that you have a contingency plan for when they occur. If you have a problem with a forklift, can you rent another forklift fast to ensure that you can continue your load unload operation? If there's your problem with your system, if the system is down, do you have a backup server that you can put online, and you can invoice the goods, or can you invoice them offline and later update the system? I don't know. So investigate what are the contingency plans for when things go wrong, and try to fix the root causes for the delays also. If your system is down for maintenance much time, probably the reason is that you have either an unstable system, or you have an obsolete server. So it's important to investigate the root causes and try to work on them to avoid further delays and avoid further detention and demurrage costs, which are a complete waste. If everything runs smoothly in your operation, demurrage or detention costs will occur in very rare occasions, so they should not be a big problem, a big cost for any company. Okay, so those were my tips for today. Thank you for coming to the channel. If you like our video, please like, subscribe. We are here twice a week with new videos. for the YouTube audience. So keep coming back for more videos like this. Thank you. Bye.